Third video. In this video we'll be looking at creating something called get method or getters. Now in the previous video we noticed that when we change the owner name into private, we were not able to access it from the main, so we need to have a method called set owner name. So this way we are changing the owner name only through this method, because private does not allow to change it directly like we do with the plate number, we do with the age. This owner name require a method called set method. So we created this set method, which basically take whatever the user will send as a parameter and use it to assign that parameter to the owner name. And was working perfectly and everything working great. So when we run our code, basically it goes and create an object here, directly changing the plate number because the plate number is public. So we can say equal and we change the value. The mileage is same thing. But when we came to the name, owner name, we have to call the method set owner name. Now the same thing will happen if we try to get the value of the owner name from here. So for example, if I come here and type system.out.println and owner name and .car owner name and this. So if I put this line here, that should work for the plate, should work for the age, mileage, but it is not going to work for the owner name because the owner name is private. So if I run it, I'll get into an error that tells me you cannot access it. You don't have access to it. It's not feasible. I mean, it's not feasible because you cannot just directly call it. So I need to create a method called get owner name instead of using this one directly. And let's go and create it in the main class. Let's just add a comment here, so later we'll come to this one. So our code will look a little nicer. So we'll go now to the main class, which to the car class, which our important one. And maybe I should add more space. Anyway, so we'll add here another method. Okay, so this our method, and let me add another comment here saying setters methods. This is the setters method. Now below this one we'll do our getters method. So getters method, and here we'll do a get one. So will be public. Here is my method. My method is very simple. It's called get owner name, which will get me the owner name when I call it, and it will return a string because the owner name is string, isn't it? Is it a string? And now the only thing I need in the body is return owner name. So this method now ready to return to me the owner name. If I call it, I don't need to pass anything to it. I'll just say get owner name, my car got owner name. It will come here and find what is the owner name and return it back to me. So let me go to my main class, and here let's remove this comment, and here instead of saying get the owner name, we'll say get owner name. And simply here we're just using our object my car and calling the method get owner name. Okay, now it should work. If I run my code, you will see now that here came the owner name came here. This is the one coming from this line, yeah. Owner name equal name. So this method now is the one doing that. If I hide this one from here, just hide it and just keep it hide this one as well. So I can get you to see only the outcome from this method. So if I rerun the code, you will see I'm getting just owner name Hamid, because this is the only one. Now the same thing I can use now, copy, and use it down here, and just change here this to Ali car, isn't it? The object is Ali car, and if I run now, I'll get now both. This is coming from here and coming from here. So if the conclusion here, if the one of the field is a private, the only way to get the result from that field from outside is by creating a get a method. Get owner name, get mileage, get whatever. And it's a very simple. You return the data type that variable or field belong to, and then you have here return and the variable that you're returning. And this is called the getter method. For every private field, you need setter method and getter method. That's the way you get into that. Now, if you have a method inside the class, this will do for you everything. Like here we have display car information. This will do everything. If I want only the owner name, this one will give me everything. It's not good. So it's better I have for every field a getter and setter. For every private field, a getter and setter. And that's the way it works. Now I need to go to one more important topic here. When you create a class, it's important you create a special method that initiate the object. So when the object is created, it gets values. What is that special method? Special method called constructor. You know, in civil engineering, they do construction, they build houses and building. The constructor build objects out of the class. So let's add here a comment here and say constructors, okay, that's it. And let's create one constructor. What the constructor is, the constructor need to be public because you access it from outside. And it should have the same name as the object, the class name. So if it is car, it should be car. If it is student, it should be student. So this name here and this name should be the same. There is no void in between. You notice in the other here I have void or I have string. No, here there's no void or string. This is the rules of the constructor. Has no void or string or integer or anything. It uses the same name as the class name. And inside you can pass parameters. For example, we will pass to this one these details. Where is, here is it. Okay. Now this is my constructor now. I'm doing it quickly just to save some time. So using Copilot, by the way. So public car, that's the name. And these are the parameters I will pass. The parameters usually are the same parameters or field in your method. So this is the plate name, the owner name, the plate number, the owner name, and the mileage. These are sent as parameter. This one is string, and integer. Now means when I create object, I can say create an object with this plate number, with this owner name, with this mileage. Okay. Now how it created? It just use this refer, as we said in the previous video, to the class car. So we're talking about this class car. So this or that object at that moment. So this plate number, which means now we're dealing with this one, equal what came from the user, which plate number as well. So because the spelling is the same and the capitalization the same, this is becoming must here to avoid the virtual machine get confused about which one we're talking about here, which plate number. So the plate number of the class itself or the object itself will now have the value of the plate number coming from the user who called that method. Same thing for the owner name, same thing for the age. Now how can I use this constructor? What the benefit of this constructor? If I go back to the main class, You notice here when we created the class, car. Instead of doing all these things we have here, I can remove them now. I can come here inside and pass to it. Plate number will give a plate number, ID, this number. It's Abu Dhabi number, okay? Then the owner name is Ahmad something, and the mileage is that. So now this line does create everything I needed to do, because I'm using the constructor that creates the object at the same time, give a value for the plate number, give a value for the name, give a value for the mileage. Okay? And if I bring back this one, let me just minimize, comment this one. Same thing I can do here by passing some information. Let me say this information. I think this is the same. Should not be. Yeah, that's a different one. Which very good. Quotation. Here the quotation should be removed. Okay. And the same thing, all these things are not required now because already been done through the constructor, and I'll make comments on this one as well. So my code is very simple. I remove these comments just to show you how the code now being simplified. So we'll go up, delete the space. We have only 4 lines of code. First one, we're using the constructor to create my car and give it the plate number this, give it the owner this, and give it the mileage. Let's change the mileage here. Say this is a new car, almost, so we'll give it 20,000. Oh, that's not old new car, it's older car. We'll make it 2,000, or whatever. So these are now 2 objects I have, and each one I use the constructor to create the object and initialize the data, and then we display the data. If we just say run now, you will see our code, our outcome will come here. Exactly the same thing. The first car, this is the plate number, oh, that's 1. This is the owner, Ahmad Al-Husani, and this car is being used 10,000 kilometers. And the other one is that value. So what the beauty of the constructor? The beauty of constructor, it's when you create the object using the new keyword, you can pass data to it. And that will create it and initialize the data into there. The beauty now, if I have even this one private, making all of them private, which the right way to do it, because we need to hide the data from external. Now the constructor will create the data and will also show me the results. So if I come back here and run, it's working perfectly, although all of them are private. Now it's better I get setter and getter for everyone. So let's add another setter method here for the mileage. So public void mileage, here is one method we created, and this is the closing of that method. And let's create another one which will be for the plate number, and that's it. So we have 3 setters, one for the owner, one for the mileage, one for the plate number. This is the right way to do it. You have to create setter. We need to create getters as well for the 3. So here is my first, second getter, which for the mileage, and another one we will create for the plate number. Okay, we'll make it here. So this also will get the 3 setters, because I have 3 parameters here, all private. So 3 setters and 3 getters, and now I'm fine, and it works perfectly. So what the need of if the constructor is already initiating, why I need the setter and getter? The setter, I can change now specific one. If I want to change only the owner name, I can change the owner name. If I want to change the mileage, I'll change the mileage. That's give me the advantage to do that. So I hope this video was useful. It explained clearly, and we will do another video focusing on how we put all these things together. But for now, you have enough practice. You can create other class, for example, called student, and you'll give it a student name, ID, email address, phone number, whatever. And you can create a constructor to create the student. You can create setters to set the name and set the ID and set the other thing. You can create getters, and you can have one method called display all, where you display all the details of that person, display student information, whatever to do. And then you should be able to come in the main class and use the constructor to create an object, and then call display, or also use set name if you want to change the name, set plate number, whatever. One of the things you can look at here in this example, you can add a method called truffle. So the truffle, the car truffle to Dubai, for example, and Dubai will maybe 150, 160 kilometers. So the mileage get increased by that amount. These things you can play with it yourself and try to learn, and we will do more examples in the future. Thank you.